Hello, Susan here, and I am going to walk you through this scrapbooking layout. So to start off with, this is a very simple layout. So I did use the Nature Walk borders that come with a variety of different designer templates in this set. So these flowers as well. It comes with a pot and this cute little bracket tack and some leaves. And I didn't use everything from the Nature Walk set. I only used a few of the templates. And I'll kind of walk you through each of the ones that I did use. With that said, I did use the border and I traced and cut that out of a stripe pattern. Actually, I have a little bit left. It's pink paisley, Bloom Street that I've had in my stash. And so I went ahead and you can see I did not do the border the full width. I probably only traced out 2 inches. So when I laid it on my border, or my paper, I placed the border probably about 1 inch off of the paper. Then of course I traced the one design, then placed the other one on, and then the same thing here though. Typically you would, make a mark at the end. I just went in and made a mark here, and then that's where I did a straight cut and then cut it once up the center, and then I got my 2 pieces for my borders, but I did not do the borders as wide as the template is in this specific layout. I wanted it to be a little bit thinner. And on this side, I did not want the border to go the full length. So the full 12-inch length over here. And so I trimmed it down right around that 11-inch mark, so about 1 inch off of the edge. And so that there was kind of this white flow around the side edges of this design, kind of bringing it into the center specifically. Then I took this floral pattern and I kind of made that focal centerpiece of this layout. And so I cut down a 12 by 12 sheet to 6 inches so that I ended up with 2 12 by 6 inch sheets of paper. And then I trimmed one of them down to 7.5. So this is 7.5 inches by 6 inches. And this one is 10.5 inches by 6 inches. Okay, so 7.5 by 6 and 10.5 by 6. And that kind of gave me that focal point in this case. Now, the other thing that I did do is I wanted a little bit of a pop of purple. I was playing around with having this be the pop of purple or just a touch, but I thought I'd pull that pop of purple out a little bit more. And so I cut a 1/2 inch strip. Let me go ahead and do that really quickly. Let me take that off. So I just kind of cut, well, a little bit more than a 1/2 inch of a strip. And I took my shape scissors and I just trimmed the edges of this strip. So for example, I just kind of trimmed the edge to add a little bit of detail with the shape scissors, and then I just tucked this strip into the other layer. So that's kind of what I did there. And then of course I took the 12-inch strip and I trimmed it down right there to about 4 inches, and then let the rest of the 12 inches be on the right side of the layout. What I specifically liked is how this little banner kind of picked up where this ended off. So you can kind of see the banner, 4 inches, and then the rest of the 12 inches there in that case. All right. Also here, I wanted a pop because I was doing it on this like white background, just kind of very clean look, and let those pattern papers kind of, the colorful pattern papers pop off that white. I did pull in a 6-inch by 12 sheet of cardstock, and I just tucked that behind This of course could be really cute as a pattern paper. You could, you know, do not necessarily a solid color. You could have something else, but just another 6 by 12 sheet of paper placed in the background to kind of break up the background color a little bit. After that, I went ahead and added some embellishments using the accessories. So in this case, I used Nature Walk 7 and Nature Walk 2. And I layered those flowers together over there. And then also along with that, I used Nature Walk number 1. And I cut a few of those out. I layered one here in between the flowers, and then also 2 behind the flowers on that, just to add a little bit of pop of green in a few of those areas. So super cute, easy to layer with. I love that flower. And then for, to kind of balance some of that green and that teal paper that I used over on the right side, I decided to cut 2 butterflies here, just kind of floating along the edge. And then I tucked in some doilies just to kind of add texture, even though it's like white on white on the right side. It adds a little bit of texture, and I just picked those up at the dollar store a while ago, and I'm still just kind of working through the stash that I originally had. So doilies are fun to kind of throw in again to kind of tuck behind things, or like a cluster, and it just gives it kind of a texture in the background. After that, I did go ahead and take the pattern paper and I cut out some of these diamonds out of the pattern paper, added a little pop-up, and I just did a few in these corners. Again, just using the paper to add your embellishments. And so that's a lot of fun. And then of course, I did use this more glittery paper, just little accents again for that texture on these teal pieces. So I used a few of my scraps, not even the full sheet of this paper. I did use the full sheet of the flower pattern, and I still have leftover stripe paper. So it didn't take a lot of paper to design this layout. And as far as my photos go, I did use the photo template to kind of decide, you know, what pictures to add. I got to print them off, but just kind of see how you could add pictures, what sizes would work great. I'm kind of planning on doing a 2 4x4s and 2 3x4s, and then a little journaling card here. But of course, you could play around with the arrangement of photos in this design to kind of see if you want to work something else out. And I love that about the photo sets, is that it really helps you to kind of decide how to place your photos if you'd like to. Okay, so yes, I plan on doing my photos across the center here. And then of course, I just added a quick journal, and I love that about just kind of going along the straight edge at the top, whatever title, not necessarily journal, I said journal, but title across the top, right? That works for your pictures. So many variations, of course, depending on what you're scrapbooking. And I just used some of these thickers that I have that worked with the color palette of the papers that I pulled out of my stash. And basically that is the process for this specific layout. I love how it turned out. It was so quick to put together, so hopefully this design inspires you and you can take kind of the same framework and create your own scrapbook layout. If you don't want to have, you know, specifically you don't want to do flowers, you can change that and do a fun little cluster of different accessories or embellishments there, and kind of arrange your photos and title as needed as well. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the KiwiLane community. If you're looking for more ideas, make sure to join us over there at kiwilane.com. And until next time, keep playing to create.